Okay, we have looked at context clues with definitions and pictures and appositives and synonyms, all of which hand us what the meaning of the word, the mystery word, is. Then we had to dust our brains off just a little, and synonyms caused us to dust our brains off just a little, but then antonyms made us really have to think. Yesterday we did examples, so that caused our brain to turn on a little bit more. Today I need your full brain, okay? Today we're going to be talking about using our life experiences, our background knowledge, our most observant reading eyes to figure out the unfamiliar words in our paragraphs. As a matter of fact, to make sure we were doing this, I might have used words that aren't really words. They might be just some jumbled up letters I put together. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Look at this paragraph. The underlined word, I use the word word very loosely. It's not a word. Reclins can be very expensive, but then again, if you shop around and find a good deal, they don't have to be that costly. Almost everyone in my hometown owns a Reclin because they need to travel from place to place. But in New York City, hardly anyone owns a Reclin because so many people use the subway or walk instead. Now, our job now is to find the clues to figure out what a Reclin is. What do you think a Reclin is? I think you know. They can be very expensive. Read through it again. So what do you think a Reclin is? A car, a truck, an automobile, a vehicle of some kind. That's great that we know that. But the important part is, can you tell me what the clues were? They're expensive. You can shop around and find a good deal. Almost everyone in our hometown has one because we need it to get from place to place. We don't have a subway and we can't walk to the places we want to go. Most of us can't. But in New York City, even though there's a ton of traffic, people don't really own their own Reclins, their own cars, because they do use the subway or the bus or taxis, or they can walk where they're going. So those are all of our clues that we used to figure out that a Reclin is probably a car or some kind of vehicle. Let's try it again. What am I supposed to do? Should I use a pen or a crayon? I asked my teacher when she said the bojo was broken. She sighed and said, I don't know what you will do, but I am tired of everyone abusing the boja, so I will not be replacing the broken boja for now. I can feel this teacher's pain. I know exactly what the boja is. Do you know what the boja is? I feel like the boja is probably the pencil sharpener. So, what were my clues? Well, the kid is asking what to do, and should they use a pen or a crayon? These are things we would use instead of pencils. The teacher, and the boja's broken, and we all know especially electric pencil sharpeners break all the time. And the teacher says, I don't know what you're going to do, but I'm just tired of everyone abusing the boja. We have kids who put pencils who are this big, or who just hold the pencil down and the motor goes over and over and over. And I'm sure you've heard your teacher say, stop, it's sharpened, what are you doing? And this weary teacher is sighing and saying, I will not be replacing the broken boja, because teachers have to pay for that. So they're like, nope, use a crayon, we don't care. So those were our clues for figuring out what a boja was. It's kind of like a puzzle, right? I mean, I've said all along that context clues are like being word detectives, and I think it's doing it with nonsense words makes us focus on what the clues are around the word. So I think that's pretty important for today. Look at this one. Some people around the world will go their entire lives without wearing lichers. I cannot imagine. I wear lichers in every season. In cold weather, they keep me warm and cozy, and in the summer months, I wear them with my flip-flops. My friends say that is unfashionable, but I say lichers are so comfy. Okay, so there are some places in the world where people don't have lichers. This person wears them every season, no matter what. They do help to keep this person warm, and this person wears them with flip-flops. Where do we wear our flip-flops? What part of your body do you wear your flip-flops on? On your feet. So because this person's mentioning flip-flops, and I know that we wear those on our feet, thinking it has something to do with our feet. So what else do we wear? I can't wear other shoes and flip-flops at the same time. And I would not wear socks with flip-flops, but I think I'm with her friends because they say that's unfashionable, and she says they're so comfy. So what do you think lichers are? I think they're probably socks. And I think that was our clue. Not everybody wears them. There are some countries where it feels like summer all the time and socks are unnecessary. But they do keep you warm and cozy in the winter. And I guess if you have to, you can wear them with flip-flops. But I think that looks a little weird. It's just me, though. Maybe you love them with flip-flops. I support your decision making there. All right, one more. A nefaso can be fascinating, but also dangerous experience. Let me try that again. A nefaso can be a fascinating, but also dangerous experience. I always feel a bit anxious as the wind picks up, the chimes begin to dance, and the sky turns black. Typically, a nefaso will move through quickly, though, and allow the plants to get a good bit of moisture. What do you think a nefaso is? They're fascinating, can be dangerous. The wind picks up, your wind chimes begin to make noise, the sky turns black. They move through fast, and they allow the plants to get a good bit of moisture. So what is it that allows our plants to get a good bit of moisture from a black sky? I'm thinking all of those clues tell us that a nefaso is a storm. We could go as far as to say that it's a tornado, but tornadoes do not always bring good things for plants. They often uproot them, kill them, and this moves through quickly. Tornadoes don't always move through quickly. Sometimes they stay way longer than you want them to. And this person thinks they're fascinating, but they can be dangerous. All storms can be dangerous. All right, I think that you hopefully now understand how you're supposed to use inferences to answer with your to answer context clues, to use context clues and inferences to figure out mystery words. I want to show you one more thing. This is the assignment you'll be doing today. Context clues using inferences. Type your first and last name. It says read each sentence, pay attention to the word in capital letters, choose the word that most closely matches the capitalized word, use the other words in the sentence as clues. Remember, some of these are actual words, because I did put some real words in there, and some of them are nonsense, and regardless of whether it's a real word or not, you need to use the clues, okay? So make sure that I'm trying to trick you here. I'm including things that would make the sentences make sense, but they don't agree with all the clues. So you need to pay very close attention to what's happening here. There are 10 of these, and I think most of them, maybe just half. Half of them are nonsense words. Maybe it's 6 and 4. But regardless, you've got clues in your sentences. Sometimes your sentences aren't very long. Check this out. But I promise that there are clues that will help you figure out what the word is. Sometimes there are lots of clues. Okay? Go be word detectives. Figure out these words. As always, if you have any questions, please email me, and I will get back with you as quickly as possible and let you know. I'll help you out in whatever way you need, okay? All right. I love what you're doing as word detectives so far, so keep it up.